Hi, Assalamualaikum and good morning to Madam Amira. My name is Fatin Shazwa and today me and my groupmates named Sharifah Nur Anisa, Nur Anis Zulaika and Nur Idina will present about our group assignment, which is a movie review on M for Malaysia. So right now, I will start with the introduction. First and foremost, M for Malaysia is a 2019 Malaysian documentary film directed by Dian Lee and Iniza Rosel. This film documents the 2018 Malaysian general election. Indeed, this documentary film process followed Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad on the election campaign trail for 16 days straight, leading up to Malaysia's 14th general election on 9 May 2018 as the leader of Pakatan Harapan coalition. This movie includes scenes of rallies that happened before the general election around Malaysia. In my opinion, there is a scene where it really caught my attention, which is watching the real footage of election campaign during the process of filming to determine the change of the government. The impact of Malaysians went from having little hope to making a history was totally amazing.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Sharifah and for my part, I will be elaborating into detail about what we have learned about our country in the movie M for Malaysia. To start off, M for Malaysia is a documentation of the 2018 general election that was led by a 92-year-old past Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad. So let's start with the first point. Firstly, we have learned that our country has been situated through controversial issues amongst political parties. For instance, this can be shown in the movie where it was initiated that Mahathir used to have feuds among Lim Kiat Siang and also Anwar Ibrahim from opposition parties. It happened during his leadership in Barisan Nasional and UMNO. In the 16.20th minute in the movie, it captures a short assessment about what sparked the feuds between Tun Dr. Mahathir and the leaders from the opposition parties. Moreover, we also learned that our country was led by an irresponsible leader. In the movie, it managed to give out a brief description about what it was like under the leadership of Najib Razak during his administration period. For instance, in the 7th minute into the movie, it shows the fraud of 1MDB, which shows Najib Razak as a culprit. According to France 2015, he was accused of channeling over 2.6 billion ringgit from 1MDB to his own personal bank account. This has led to Najib Razak's resignation and also the Dr. Mahathir Mohamad as the next Prime Minister. Moreover, we have also learned that our country has citizen participation in democracy. We all know that Malaysia is a democratic country, hence the people have a very high participation in democracy itself. For instance, in the 3.30th minute in the movie, there is a scene showing people saying Reformasi, where huge crowds were chanting. The next scene shows the movement of Bersih. In this scene, you can see there are thousands of people chanting, wanting democracy. The rallies were organized to seek restructuring and the existing democratic system in Malaysia to guarantee a fair and clean election. Furthermore, we have also learned that our country has individuals who think highly and has the utmost respect towards Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad. In the 1.50th minute in the movie, you can see crowds cheering for Tun M when he stood out of the vehicle. Crowds were rushing to shake his hand and also chanted his name. They were also rushing to take his photos and record him as well. This shows that the people of Malaysia will always look up to Tun M and has a high regard towards him. We have learned that the people of our country are not afraid to stand up when there's injustice and corruption. For instance, you can realize in a movie where people from all races and ages joining the rallies to show their dispute about the 1MDB issue. They were not afraid to speak up about the matter, even though it involves the Prime Minister at the moment. Their choice to speak publicly about the issue has led to the Barisan Nasional downfall. At the moment, Barisan Nasional was the longest ruling party in the world and they managed to remove them from the government. That is all for my part, and I will pass the next part to Nur Anis Zulaika to elaborate more about her part in this.
I will be talking about how media can assist patriotism. We think that the media can assist with patriotism. The first one is by playing an important role in broadcasting more stories with patriotic themes at all times. For example, the electronic media should produce stories that show the sacrifice of the people from the past until now to maintain the independence as well as make a development for the country. And based from the movie I'm from Malaysia, the sacrifices of heroes including the government officials itself who work hard to develop the country and give priority to the folk can be an example. We can see that in this movie, the former Prime Minister, Tun Dr. Mahathir, he made Malaysia famous in the eyes of the world for his efforts to develop the country, and it can be seen through the development of KLCC, KLIA, and many more. His efforts to raise the name of Malaysia can foster patriotic spirit among Malaysians to continue to love the country and to strive to develop the country economically, socially, and many other aspects. Other than that, printing media should also publish more stories regarding the country's history, which might be possible to instill patriotism because history plays a significant role in cultivating the patriotic spirit to love the country. Besides that, as we all know that patriotism is about protecting the land we live, and it was defined as devotion and vigorous support for one's country. In the movie of M for Malaysia, the strong support the people have for Malaysia is clearly shown. This is when Tun Dr. Mahathir wants to contest as Prime Minister again to get the rule of law and stop the corruption made by Datuk Seri Najib Razak. His decision is supported by Malaysians until they are willing to step down to voice out for reformation. This kind of moment, if the media portray about this widely, surely it can increase patriotism as the people will work harder to protect the rights and defend their beloved country. The next one, media can assist with patriotism by exposing all the truth and not hiding any. When people see and have the right information about the accomplishments and failures of those in power, for example, the mistakes done by Datuk Seri Najib previously, so people know what to do and how to bring up ideas that will lead to nation building. If people only look up to the government, they might be discouraged to serve or feel disgraced by country, or worse, fight the government through violent protests. So this is a workload on the media, be it traditional media or online media. And the last one, a scene when people of all races and religions gather in front of the palace to wait and watch live Tun Dr. Mahathir sworn as the new Prime Minister on that time. This portrayed the patriotism theme as it clearly shows the deepest feeling of loving the country. Why? Because we can see when just in time Tun Dr. Mahathir took the oath, everyone gathered there cheering and crying as many people were waiting for the return of a trusted leader to change the future of the beloved country. And documentary like this should be displayed by the media to assist patriotism, because what patriotism is all about here is when all the folk are united and support and regain the right leader for the future of the country. The patriotism instilled in people will strengthen national unity and integration.
Assalamualaikum, Madam Amirah. I am Nuridina. So we came up with 3 suggestions for local media producers on how to increase the sense of belonging to our country through creative works. So the first suggestion is to allow the youth to freely express their opinions on social media. For example, there is a local channel called Says. It is a channel that posts funny and entertaining contents, but they also offer their workers or invited guests a platform to share their thoughts from time to time about the trending news of political crises or political issues in Malaysia. This way they can creatively discuss their opinions without feeling fear. Our second suggestion is insertions of political values in local TV shows, because local TV shows in Malaysia nowadays lack of or no insertions of political values. The country practices freedom of speech after changing the government in 2018. So maybe local TV producers this time can come up with a show series that is based on politics in Malaysia. This way, people will be interested because of this new style of show, and they are able to understand the importance of democracy ruling for people to live in harmony. Our third suggestion, which is our last suggestion, is to advertise local theatres or drama plays that centers political issues in Malaysia. For example, doing a play about a democrat's point of view, working in the parliament, recreate a different scenario based on arising issues in Malaysia, or showcase to people about the worst scenario that could happen to the country if democracy is ruined. Then get this plays advertised through advertising campaign, for instance, to encourage targeted audience, ways to show their love for the country. So audience who watch the advertisement will feel a sense of unity or a sense of belonging to the country. So these are our suggestions for local media producers on how to increase sense of belonging between Malaysians through their creative works.
Lastly, M for Malaysia is a well-made documentary explaining the backstory of the unexpected events in 2018 and giving context in Malaysia's political scene. For a foreigner with no understanding about Malaysian politics, this documentary film serves as a good commentary because it is easy to understand and digest. In conclusion, the 14th general election in 2018 will forever go down in the nation's history as one of the most important and unprecedented moments in Malaysia for many reasons. Not only Malaysians managed to change the government through voting, but also a demonstration of real democracy in our beloved country. This documentary is a significant story that had to be shared with the world because it allows viewers to witness the key events that led up to a momentous occasion. I guess that is all from me and my group mates for today. Thank you so much, madam, and have a nice day ahead.